So Susanne has brought us to post-World War II and the Informel movement, the German version of action painting. And this is the moment in which Joseph Beuys shows up at the Kunstakademie. And we should also say that after the Dusseldorf school, the Academy remained very important, and there was still momentum there. People like Paul Klee were teaching. But it's really after World War II that it starts to generate a whole different kind of art. And Bernhard, I was hoping that you could talk a little bit about Beuys's arrival at the Kunstakademie and kind of the tensions that he brought with him and sort of the changes there.
It was before my time at the Academy.
Joseph, that's saying.
But Joseph Beuys had a radical political aim to change the Academy, and he was not. The other professors don't love him so much, and he radicalized the Academy and opened it for the modern artists who came after him. So I know that Daniel Buren was there, and know about Richter, who studied then, who was a teacher then, and the Bechers were there after Beuys. And it was the most modern academy in Germany, perhaps in whole Europe, perhaps in the whole world, because that is what Stefan said before. They have another. The presence of the professors is not 40 hours a week, but they came once or twice. Richter came once in a week, and one had something to eat, to speak with him. He came, could ring him, and he came. But he was not present, so he could work for himself, and the class worked also for all the students, worked also for themselves. It's not so scholar as another academies. You spoke about the structure of teaching. There hasn't been a structure there. It's like it's the Orientierungsstufe. It's pre-student studies, and afterwards we have the teachers.
And that's for 1 year, is that right?
Yes, it's for 1 year, and afterwards we had the teachers, and have to do our own thing. It was expected that we hear philosophies or artists, but it was not a must. So everyone has to develop his own art or his program. Yes.
So Richter was one of these, there's a whole list of famous professors, but there's also a whole list of famous students. So when Richter was at the Kunstakademie in the 60s, other people there were...
I think we started 72.
72?
Yes.
So was it Polka who in the 60s was the earlier generation of Polka and...
They were friends. Polka and Richter came from Eastern Germany, and with other artists. And Richter was ready with his studies in Eastern Germany, and after he saw at the documentary, he saw the fluxes, and then he told me that that was a complete new world for him, and he had to move away from Eastern Germany because there was no
freedom of...
There was no freedom of art. It was more illustrative. Yeah. And Polk, I know Polk from Karl Goetz, he studied it.
To speak a little louder, I think you have difficulties.
Sorry. They were friends, and they know them from the Rattinger Hof.
The mic, please.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me.
Is that better?
Yeah. They know each other from the classes at Karl Goetz, and they had the first exhibitions together with Konrad Luke, who was Konrad Fischer afterwards. They were
The dealer.
A few friends, and Konrad Fischer was also a painter, but he loved to have people around him. So he was a gallerist, and Richter and the Volker were the artists. But it was the same. It came out of the same mind.
I'd like to say something just for a better understanding. One has to know that studying at the academy is for free. So that also attracted a lot of people, and it's the same today. All you need to do is like apply, and if they accept you, I mean many people apply, they will only accept a certain number of students, but then the next couple of years are free, including insurance and everything. So that, excuse me?
Who makes those decisions on who gets accepted?
There'll be, there are about 30 teachers, 30 professors, and they pick, nobody wants to do this job, so it takes a whole week, and they pick 7 who have to make that decision. And everyone else gets a little letter saying, okay, no, sorry. And Joseph Beuys, for example, there's this famous story that kind of also put him on the map. He decided to approach, to actually get in touch with all the people who were not accepted and to invite him to his class, which meant for the German government that they had to pay for that. Because when they got a letter from Joseph Beuys saying you can be, because everybody is an artist, you can be in my class, that meant, free insurance and all of that means, that somebody has to pay for that, the government. And because of that, he was fired from the academy. And, but he wouldn't go, he wouldn't leave, so all his students would kind of go to the academy and hide from the police, so the police had to get him out of there. He and about 100 students. And so that's kind of a story about the academy. And
so this is tremendous government support for the arts. To have rules where anyone can go with high quality.
Yeah, but it's part of this general concept, having like free access to universities and academies. Slowly we are starting to discuss fees, but that's another topic, we are getting already crazy about like 500 euro as a fee, but okay, don't go there. But the academy is not a special place, it's just a part of this whole concept after World War II that we wanted to have free access for everybody to really attend university or academy.
So what's the motivation to finish? What do you have to do to get your degree, or why do people ever leave if you're getting free insurance? And you've got painting space, and the teacher shows up now and then for a chat.
Actually, up until the 90s or into the 90s, that was a problem, because even when I moved to San Francisco and went to school here, but I was still in the academy because nobody would care. I would just get the signature from my teacher, my personal teacher, my professor, because it meant free health insurance, and it's okay, it was okay, accepted, until, they decided, okay, maybe it's too much, maybe we should tell the students you can only do 10 semesters, and then, you need to go for a degree. But nobody cares. It's not like here where, a master's, graduate, undergraduate, all these things mean something. There it doesn't mean so much because, you're on your own anyway as an artist. And not that many artists who come from the academy want to teach later on in like a high school. They want to be artists, they want to be out in the world. So most people didn't even care if they got a degree, any kind of degree. Because you don't need that, all you need to say is, this is what I'm doing, and I went to this and that school. And that was kind of your invitation card to the art world.
Yeah, and you have to be really well connected, and I think that's also something really fascinating about Dusseldorf, because it's really the center, or it's a part of this whole area, like I mentioned before, and all you have to do is really be there and showing up at certain exhibition openings, and you will meet people easily again, and therefore, the whole network is starting to build up for you. And therefore, being in Dusseldorf means really being somehow in a center of the arts, of the old buildings.
Yeah. And Birgit, being someone who's been sort of tangentially associated with the Academy, and someone who's involved with the Artists Club, could you talk a little bit about sort of these things that exist to create an artistic community in Dusseldorf beyond the students and the professors?
When I came to Dusseldorf, I really liked about Dusseldorf that there was a very international art scene. Really, in the first day when I came there, I already met Japanese people and French people, artists, and I like that very much. And the Academy is actually full of, in that time it was full of Japanese people, because for them it was the only place to study contemporary art. Dusseldorf has got the biggest community of Japanese people. They began to discover Europe via Dusseldorf, and also then many Japanese people arrived at the Art Academy, and there was a very high level of artistic practice. Also because there are so many different people who come together in this small place and communicate to each other together. And well, I liked always that there's this scene of different artists which meet and communicate, and there is competition, and you have got a lot of very, very good people, and it's always worth to get in contact with them and to think about their work. And now, for example, I'm organizing an event where I always invite 3 to 4 people in one evening, once a month it happens, and we present people from also from other places, but often also from Dusseldorf, that they present something, they do a performance, they do music, something what they normally don't do in exhibitions, and there's always a very lively communication about it. And I like that in Dusseldorf you can find these places to meet and to communicate. There's a really good art scene. And
are your events open to the public?
Yes, they are. They're public. They are inside an artist club, very old artist club, which exists since 150 years. I'm on this board of the artist club. We have got a beautiful building, which is on one of the paintings from Stefan. That's our building, and we have got a listed park. And so every artist who is coming to our event is astonished from the rooms. We have got big candelabras out of crystal glass. I mean, it's just very unusual for an artist's place. And we quite like it to be unusual, and so it's I think an unusual event to happen.
So you're talking about the bringing together of people,
Yes.
and it sounds so sort of serendipitous and wonderful, but I believe the reality behind it is also certain economic incentives put in place by the city and the state. For example, when you're talking about a large Japanese community, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that was some economic incentives put into place for businesses to work in the Dusseldorf area post-World War II, and so Japanese get...
I think it would be accurate to say that the United States deserves a great deal of credit here. That in actual fact, this was all part of a plan by the United States when it was controlling Germany after World War II, part of a denazification plan, and to enrich and create a new kind of German culture. And so more money was put into theaters. Almost every town had theaters and playwrights and painters and musicians, and it was also part of the Cold War to contrast West Germany and East Germany. But it's so ironic, some of the same people who wouldn't give a nickel for American to support art were giving tremendous emphasis to at least the German government, which they were helping support, to create a democratic institution and to create a new culture. And it's a wonderful kind of irony.